Hey there, it's Dr. Crypto here. So, were you one of the ones who followed me when we were accumulating CRO at 5 cents? It's one of those projects that are like a sleeping giant, a silent killer, something that could make life-changing money if you get it right. And in this video, none of this is financial advice. You always do your own research, and that is my advice to you. Never put all your money, never get loans, never remortgage your house for any crypto investments, are for one reason. If you've got surplus money to one side and it's not doing anything, and you've got the courage and you've got the risk tolerance, and if you lose it all and it all goes to zero, you're going to be fine about it. Well, actually, you're never going to be fine about it, but it's not going to break your bank and it's not going to break you putting that last bit of food on the table. But anyway, all that to one side, CRO is pumping. CRO is a project that I've been accumulating for all over this bear market. Through all the fear and the scare, I've been accumulating. So we could see here right now, at the moment, we've had this massive surge up at the moment because we're starting to get retail come back. But also, don't forget, we've got the institutions now with Bitcoin ETF, and have we got an Ethereum ETF on the horizon. But we can see with Kronos at the moment, we've just been methodologically just making our way up on this one. It's been a gradual move to the upside. So we can see here, and I said in this in the previous video, that we're starting to come up to a bit of resistance here, which is around about that 15-16 pence mark. Now, if we can go past that, our next mark, in my opinion, is around about 50 pence. Now, from that point onwards, if we can get through this area of resistance really and make our way up, that's going to be 183% move to. And obviously, this is all subject to what happens with Bitcoin and the traditional markets. If we get a black swan event, you cancel it all, we're all going down. But like I said, nothing's ever financial advice what I say. But honestly, I've been accumulating. I'm in this bull market for a long time. You've got some people are saying this is going to be a very short bull market because of with what's going on. History has changed a little bit with the, with the Black Rocks getting with the Bitcoin ETFs. But some people are still saying this bull market can go all the way up to November of 2025. Now, if this is the case and we are where we are now, we're quite easily going to get to that dollar. We're very easily, could potentially get to $2 or $3. And some people are even calling $5. But, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. Let's see how we go through this bull market first. But the first step is we need to get past it 16 pence mark. And then we're heading straight up to that, 50 pence. And we can see here, if we don't make it, we get a bit of a pullback from Bitcoin. I'm expecting from here that we could come back down here to retest around about that 12 pence and then obviously make our way back up to that 15, 16 kind of pence kind of region, and maybe just sort of goes a bit sideways. I'm expecting, Bitcoin, because obviously what you've got to expect with Bitcoin at the moment, which is absolutely mega bullish, and I put it in the previous video, that what's got to happen, a lot of the Black Rocks are going over the counter, the OTCs. Well, what happens with that is it's all drying up. So what do they have to do? They have to come to the spot, what me and you use, to buy up that Bitcoin. Because don't forget, we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up around about, mid-April or something like that. So yeah, we can see Bitcoin at the moment on about Bitcoin. We can see it in the moment. We're in this wedge at the moment. We're just basically chopping sideways, gradually moving up. But obviously, we've just got to watch this very carefully, because obviously there's two ways we could go here, basically. We could go up, we can move on the way, get back up to the all-time high, or we can have a little bit of a pullback down to the downside. Now, if this is the case, I am looking at around about 57,000, 58,000 as a line of support. So that would be around about this way here, really. Then, if worst case scenario comes down, we could test around that way here. That's worst case scenario, but I'm expecting it's either going to go to all-time high or we're just going to pull back a little bit. But don't forget, over the weekends, liquidity dries up a little bit. But we are seeing some of the alts pump up, because obviously what I want to see is Bitcoin start going a bit sideways, it chop sideways a little bit, and then basically dominance come down, and then we pump to the upside. But yeah, but honestly, we're looking at bad bubbles in here at the moment. everything is a bit of a mixture on the as of today, but we know like CRO hasn't been doing that. CRO's been making moves up, but you've got to expect this because obviously retail have left over the bear market unless you guys are the one who stuck through it. But a lot of retail's left, a lot of retail are starting to come back because we saw what happened with Coinbase. It went down. To me, that gives me an idea that retail are starting to come back. Now retail, when they're at home watching TV, who do they see on the sports events? UFC, F1, football, with the World Cup. Crypto.com. So who are they going to go to? Crypto.com. They're going to check out the app, and who they're going to see? CRO. So what's going to happen is they're going to end up buying CRO. They look at the shiny debit card, because don't forget, I do have an icy white debit card. So, they're going to look at things like that, and they're going to look at the staking. People are going to start staking more because they're going to see, I can earn actually some passive income from this if I put X, Y, and Z in. So that's what's happening at the moment. But we can see here, like with Chris, who is the CEO of Crypto.com. But honestly, they come out and they go to all these meetings, all these conferences, they mix in with all these billionaires and these big companies. And obviously this is going to attract businesses to their Crypto.com, which is going to be bullish for us in the CRO. And we can see Eric here, who I was honoured to hold a discussion with Bahrain's Minister of Finance. So you can see who Crypto.com are rubbing shoulders with. It's the rubbing shoulders with the big boys who are going to bring in a lot of money during the F1. So you can see here, obviously, we can see here, Crypto.com is one of the sponsors in the F1. So, what's that going to do? Because we've got to bear that in mind. Overall, I think in 2020 and 2021, we had like spectators of around about, it was about 17.8 million. That's around about 774,000 per race. So that's how many people who will be watching Crypto.com, especially in as the F1 has just started. So you've got to bear that one in mind. There's going to be a lot of people who are in those stadiums or watching it on TV. They're going to see Crypto.com. I've heard about Bitcoin. Let's go and check it out. And they're going to check out the app. And then, CRO. CRO is one of the, one of their native tokens, one of their own tokens, like, so an exchange token. So I might buy a little bit of that. Why not? Let's give it a bit of a punt. And this is going to help with the price. So, if you're sitting on the sidelines right now, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But if we're looking at like the price at the moment, if we're looking at like Leo, which is another exchange, that's at position 25 at the moment. But to get to that position, CRO only has to do another 1.16. Bear in mind, from this point onwards, we've gone and done around about to 2/3x around about. But if you're thinking about it, if we want to get, that's only 1.16x. And don't forget, we're right at the beginning of the bull market. But one of the biggies is BNB. The BNB token. Can we get up to that? Now, if we could ever reach what BNB is, and now bear in mind, a lot of people will say, no, it's impossible. Nothing's impossible in crypto. We've seen projects in the last bull market, and you think, nah, it's never going to do it. And then they've gone and done a 10, 20, 25, 100x. I'm not saying CRO is going to do 100x, but you've seen the other tokens, bigger projects that have gone and done 10, 20, 30, up to even 50x. So it's not impossible. But if we went up to the BNB, we're sitting at around about 16.3x from where we are. And if you've been accumulating around that 50 pence mark like I have, because I was accumulating, if we look around about here, if we go to CRO, this is the area I was accumulating, was around about that area. That's where I was accumulating. And I've got a lot of CRO. I've accumulated around about that. And we're all right up here now. This is it where we are now. And there's nothing really, there's nothing in between. This is just all black space, which can easily fill. Once we get past this point here, on and onwards and upwards. And don't forget, we're right at the early stages of the bull market. So we've got a long way to go. And when we've got all these advertisements like from the UFC, and we don't forget, we had the World Cup, and now we've got the F1. That's going to bring in new users. I really do think we're over 100 million users on Crypto.com. They haven't given us any kind of formal numbers or anything like that yet. But for me, in my eyes, you can't tell me they're not over 100 million users right now, which is mega bullish in terms of CRO and mega bullish for the Crypto.com. So like I said, you just got to be careful. Always have a risk management, always have a plan. And I always say in this bull market, if you want to make it in this bull market, you've got to have a plan. There's no two ways about it. You know, when in bear market, where you want to buy. In the bull market, you want to work out where you want to sell. And for me, personally, I always take out, when I've made nice gains, if I've gone and made a 2x, 3, a 10x, say, or something like that, I'll take out my initial investment, because if it ever went down, I've not lost anything. But it's always a bonus when it goes up and you can start nibbling away at the profits. That's what I'm doing. What you want to do is up to you. But anyway, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It's like I say, it's always, I always say in every video, it's always much appreciated. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. It's always much appreciated. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.